All right, there we go. Kicking off, and we are back. It is, of course, Monday night. It's a public holiday here in Queensland. Nowhere else.
What?
We got a beautiful public holiday today, so we're going to milk it. And, it was a good. Did you get a day off today, Bill?
Yeah, I came back from holidays yesterday. We were home today, cleaning out the caravan and getting back to reality. And yeah, back to work tomorrow.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. As usual, we have Dan hanging out with us as well, all the way from New Zealand. And
every time.
I know,
Every time.
right?
When are you going to ditch that freaking microphone and get yourself a decent one? Bloody hell, man!
you know what the best part was? You know the best thing was watching Gabby's face.
No. Yeah.
So it's not my microphone. It's not my microphone. It's my where they plug into my Anyway, it's I kick it with my foot. It happens. Shit happens. Anyway, like I was explaining, we do have Gabby and Ryan with us tonight. How are you guys?
Hey guys. Good, thanks.
How are you, Ryan? Can you hear us?
Ooh. Maybe some tech issues.
Maybe not. Can you hear us yet? You there, Ryan? Maybe not. Any bloody eardrums?
A little bit.
I said, David, how are you? There we go. Now you can hear us.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you nice and clear now. April, leave me alone. Don't be like that. All right, so obviously last night we did the pre-show talking about episode number 7. We all knew that Kale was going to be a big part of it. We talked about the what they're going to do with the hanging and the balloons. And then, of course, it ended with a bit of elimination where these two guys were the ones, unfortunately, the way the cookie crumbles, you guys were eliminated. So let's talk about. We'll might as well start with last night's build. That mechanism, the riding. What's the name of it? Pegasus.
That was a horse. Yeah, David and Gus's
We were
horse.
marvelous.
We made the little flying man in his little biplane.
You made
thing.
and the glasses. The glasses were insane. I forget.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun.
The glasses were really, really good. And then obviously, we G'd up and we talk about it every single night that we're on here, the good old Brick of Doom.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
It was I mean, it's funny and ironic, you lose it and then it doesn't really help towards the end. Flirting in Gabby's lounge, drinking a bubbly.
At least you managed to ditch it though, and it wasn't what took you out. So that was
exactly.
Actually, I never
that was quite satisfying.
The Brick of Doom. What was more annoying, the 5-minute penalty or the damn flashing lights?
The lights.
The lights.
Yeah.
The 5 minutes was not a problem at all, except in the hero build where it meant we didn't get to choose the base plate.
Yes.
That's the only time it was annoying.
You got stuck with the Highlands, which I think
we might have chosen anyway.
We were happy enough.
I think you did quite well with it. So I wouldn't have known what to do with the Highlands besides some bagpipes and some kilts. So I think you guys did quite well to recover with that. So, but 5 minutes, I guess, besides not being able to pick that, and you can't communicate, but at least you can be thinking and plotting and that sort of stuff. So maybe the 5-minute quiet time helped a little.
For me, yes.
I mean, it certainly didn't help us when we lost the Brick of Doom. We lost our usual methodology, and you saw what happened.
It's
like we lost the crutch in which we lean on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just trying to bring up. Let me just bring up the photo of this one. So the here we go. We'll share this here. The mechanism in the wings compared to the pedaling. Where did that come from? Like that was just So for those that don't know, the motor was obviously inside of the mechanism. You see the battery box and that there. So I don't know if I've got a complete photo. I'll look in a sec. But you had the wings pivoting insanely awesome. Plus the pedal thing was kind of cool, and we can work that out. You break that down, but the whole wing, adding the wing as an extra, icing on the cake. That's just. Have you built something like that before, or you just winged it on the night or the day?
No, I've that was one of my tricks in the hat that I kind of stuffed around with. One of my original thoughts of, if we made it to the finale, I'd love to do a dragon and a knight slaying the dragon, but having the wings sort of doing that flap. And as I guess we progressed, it became apparent that we probably needed to really pull out one of the tricks just to get rid of the brick and keep ourselves in the running. And I think we both just I think we had that 5 minutes, and it was like the first thing that came out of both of our mouths. Let's do it. Let's do the flying. And funnily enough, it's completely not how I originally designed it, but I just knew how the levers kind of worked, but it was actually sort of backwards to what I had originally planned. But it kind of worked for a crazy dude's flying machine. It just wouldn't have worked so well.
Oh man, it was intense. It was saying that someone said in the chat, the build was genius. And Maddie needs to go on Lego Ideas. I would buy it. You know what? That is one sort of an ideas with a moving, mechanism. If you obviously perfected it, which wouldn't be hard if you got longer than so many hours. Like it's one of them, like the piano. It's a display piece. It's not a build and chuck out. It's like it was a wicked set. Yeah, of course it would.
It's not an original. It's not a really original idea at all. Mine's probably a bit more streamlined than some of the others that people have had floating around. But there's a lot of, I guess I can't think of the name right now, but that animation style, the kinetic sculpture. That's the word I was thinking of. There's a lot of people who do movement really well, and I merely work in their shadows.
I got a question from one of the guys in the chat. Are you guys allowed to discuss ideas while waiting with that time penalty?
No.
No, and there's people watching us, and we're on mic the whole time, and
how
they
long?
were pretty strict. Yeah.
But the worst ones are when Hamish will be talking to you or something, or he'll say something that will inspire you to say something, and then you get told off, and you just you feel like that little kid in grade 3 who's like getting a little talent, a good talking to.
How long did it take you guys to realize and switch on that they're literally listening to everything you whisper, everything you say in the brick pit, every time? Oh crap! I didn't realize that. Next minute, why is there a camera there pointing right at what I just mentioned? You know what I mean? How long? Yeah. How many episodes in did it take us before you're like, okay, we're not going to talk, or we do these ones so it muffles up the mic?
Probably episode 2, I reckon, because we're all singing songs in the brick pit, but they're all licensed works. So we knew they're not paying for this. They're not paying for that one. Do Queen, because Queen are notorious for doing the censorship ban. So we knew it was safe to talk rubbish if we were singing Queen alongside it.
So you're like Gabby, build out some Queen, and then let's talk about
no.
Well played.
Yep. Your story producer would come up and start asking questions that were exactly about what you'd just been chatting about, thinking, you're there for so long that it's easy to forget that the cameras are there or that you're kind of being monitored, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're mic'd
it's
up.
It's just such a long time. You can't think you're performing the whole time.
Yeah, and who was it? Someone said the other night, you start building, everything's blocked out. You don't realize until, the Hamish or Brickman comes and talks to you. There's 37 cameras in front of you.
You'd get the feeling they were circling like sharks because all the cameras would start kind of getting closer, and you'd know that you were due for a visit from Brickman or Hamish.
Not to mention the hidden one on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was always a good one where you kind of thought you thought you're alone, and then all of a sudden you were like, "Hey, wait a second." My two key moments where I really knew that I was getting filmed was the boobs and the smash with David. It didn't go to air, but it was pretty funny when they said, "Oh, do you need a nurse?" I'm like, no, I'm all right. It's like, "No, do you need a nurse?" And I'm like, "Oh, do you?"
They want you to need a nurse.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the nurse came with 3 cameras. Like, yeah, all right.
Well played. Well played. Christo, hold on. What's Roderick say? Oh, where's Kale? We asked Kale. He declined. Big fan. Ryan, well done, guys. Expect a bit more drama from you two, but loved your work. Hey, it is a TV show, and we'll talk about that in a sec too. Atlanta, how are you? Hope you are good. Got all the people in. Obviously, you got the people hanging out at your house, Gabby, watching from another room.
Yeah. I've got Fleur and Sarah and Amy here. I think so.
I didn't get a bloody invite, though.
No, it's ladies' night, Ryan. Ladies' night.
Yeah, convenient. Very convenient.
Sorry, David.
Oh,
we've saved all of the bitterness and hard difficulties between us for this. So
yeah.
It's all gonna come.
Was there anything that of you guys that have watched, up until now that you're like, oh man, I wish they showed that, or they forgot to show me building this, or why didn't they, twist that around?
Bits and pieces. My most selfish thing is
you're a real technical type builder, aren't you, Ryan? You're right into your high tech, like you get right into the detail stuff. So, I guess it's a TV show too. They kind of got to blend over it
too much.
Yeah. Ryan gave some great kind of YouTube worthy tutorials on how to do very technical parts of the build, all that brick building. It's like a 20-minute tutorial on how to do that. And all they showed was 30 seconds of me going, Ryan, just build it.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway.
And they say they don't get it to tell a story.
There's no actual evidence that was 20 minutes, just so we know, stipulate that. But it probably was. It probably was. I think it was at least 10. It was at least 10.
Did you ever think, because obviously the
example, sorry, as I say, if you look at our little thing on a train in 20 pieces, you'll see the way that Gabby explains it, and then the way I explain it. I'm like, so first you grab a headlight brick and you tilt it on its side, and you get a 1x1 round tile, and you stick it on. It's like that's kind of what it was like. The brick bending, which you can imagine was a much longer explanation.
But hey, the end result is still cool, and hey, they edit that's what they're good at. They edit and polish it the way they And that's also today. Obviously, you guys, I don't know if you've seen too much of social media. Everyone jumping up and down and having a cry today. About the whole the brick and getting it out in the vote. But people got to realize it's not oh, there she is. Get it?
Saying hello.
People have got to realize that
It's not.
That's all right. We're only talking to eliminated contestants tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just leave. I hit a brick. Okay. I'll leave you to it.
No, we need you, Flo.
Good on her. People have got to realize it's not a hardcore legislated, Lego only show with all this kind of.
Yeah.
It's a TV show that's going to have twists and funs and upset you. Calm down, people.
Yeah.
I've been one of the people saying to everybody, like, just chill out on social media. Don't defend anybody. And I want to go and jump down the digital line and half these people that are getting all interesting. Let's call it.
Yeah,
interesting.
no, don't bite. Don't bite.
And
I'm not biting.
Get stuffed. Like, seriously, it's a game. If we had the brick, we'd have played it. If it's just whatever, Like the fact that that's a good indicator. If Fleur's over at Gabby's house, it's a pretty good indicator of just how close we all are. Stupid.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, and you get like that because you spend so much time with the other contestants. You all become mates, and it's just you become friends. I mean, I'll go get Kale.
Sorry.
No, but like not even that. Like I've met people, like Dan in New Zealand. Like we went over there because of the show, so it's kind of you become mates. No matter what happens in the show, like shit happens, you're there for the game. It's insane how hardcore people do take it. passion.
I mean, the last, no offense to Fleur and Sarah, we weren't competing against them. Like, as far as we were concerned, in our building and our strategizing, there was only 3 other teams in the room because we knew the platinum brick would be played. So, it was always on the table. And that's what we signed up for.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly right. Yeah. And, you seen what happened in season 1, season 2. You're going to get spin on your head in season 3, 4, and 5. It's the way it is. Hold on. Before I keep going, Rick, we're not spilling the beans on what happens tonight, mate. Look, spill the beans. Let's do a review. Mate, it's not going to happen, Rick.
You'll find out in 14 minutes, Rick.
You'll find out shortly. You'll find out. There you go. Superstars. But I know. Rick, I'm sure a lot of people know Buddy.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it later. All right. So from all your builds, I know, Bilsy, you've got the list down there. Let's go from episode 1 to episode 7 and what they built.
Episode 1 was the Yeti.
I got a photo of that. I can share that one.
Yeah.
So the stomping Yeti.
That's right.
My wonderful hand. What do you call that?
The Brick of Doom.
But no, the hand modeling.
The placement of the hand.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think of that, actually.
And we went on episode 2. We went on to that was the explosion episode.
Oh, yeah. That was a disaster.
The Viking castle.
Yeah. The brick shock absorber.
Don't need to show that.
Where it just perfectly unraveled rather than exploded. It was like
honestly, if it was the reverse challenge, we've got a perfect idea for next season's contestants. Can you withstand the
survive?
It was supposed to be like a kid at Christmas where you rip it open to see what you got, but no, Nana was there saying, "Undo it, I want to save that paper."
That is the worst reference you could have ever used. Dead set. Like, what is that?
Anyway,
it was a good visual. I liked it.
Episode 3 was the snow dome where Ned Kelly.
Yep. Nearly got eliminated.
Yeah, that I think scale got you a little bit there from memory.
Yeah.
It was more about arrangement.
All the snow landed on top of the sign as well. So in the end, we didn't even have and on the lights.
So let you down. But Ned himself was actually quite a really good build. I enjoyed that. And then we went on to the animal mashup, the shark mingo.
Flark.
No, it wasn't the apartment next.
The flark.
That's
right. The very, very pink shark.
I'm trying to find a photo of the oversized flark, but I can't.
We had sort of conversations about sort of going a bit too complex and too detailed, and it was time to smash out a build in basic bricks mostly. Yeah. And we had that bit of a look. It's not an elimination. Let's just see how big we can go. And we'd been watching Scotty, and we thought surely there's not too much of a science to making massive things out of many bricks. Didn't think about Kale's incomplete DeLorean at the time. We just thought, we can do this. We can do this. 6 hours, yeah. And then as we realised just how big this stupid thing was getting, we're going to cover this thing. This is not going to work. We are never going to get to shape this thing.
They didn't show us. We were sort of throwing bricks at it for the last 5 minutes.
We learned a lot. We stopped short of just pouring it on top. That would have been good.
Pretty much. Oh, dear.
And then episode 5 was the adventure episode, which we all loved. That was a great.
Was that the Hero Quest one?
The Hero one, yeah.
That was a fun one.
And that was where you got the Scottish Highlands.
Yeah.
But really, if you did get Highlands or Scottish, what else is there other than Loch Ness, really?
Yeah.
Like you said, a kilt.
Yeah.
Well, kilts, and besides like an epic Braveheart style battle, what else?
Well, hold on. We'll go to New Zealand. We'll channel over to New Zealand. Dan falling asleep. Sorry, mate. We know you didn't get to watch it. If you were to do a Highlands build, what would be the thing coming from? Because obviously half of New Zealand's from Scotland, kind of anyway. So, Mike.
Oh, you're muted.
You muted, buddy. Fix your shit.
Yeah, I was because I was typing. I do the Braveheart scene where he's lifting his kilts up the front with a big.
In
Sarah said that's what you do.
time slot?
Yeah.
I don't know if you could show 1x1s in that time slot.
No, he meant for the chaos scale part of it.
Okay, I'll scale. It'll still be 1 by 1.
And that takes us to episode 6. The cash register and then the lady, that's her there with the maid of money.
Yep.
And the wicked sports car.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah, I don't think sports car really didn't get much attention on the shots and even the photos we were given. I'm like, I want more of that too. That was good.
I'm looking at it now and I realize we shouldn't have had it straight. We should have put it on more of an angle, but it was great.
Oh, it was already at 45 degrees. And
I
it was
know.
only the last 45 minutes. So, yeah, but I know what you mean, as in tilt it down as well.
Yeah. But you don't know which angle these are going to be photographed from.
That's right.
But I wanted more shots and video of this in its bare bones because I want to rebuild this. I'm prepared to go out and find a cash register and cut it in half.
Buy the other half.
True. The negative.
Zing. I do have. I can send you these photos. I got a couple of you building it and building it up, so I can send these through to you.
It's already half covered. Like I can't see my frame because there's everything. Everything was about the position. It was a way. It was we fluked it. Like it was just literally build a frame, couple of beams, build a frame, couple of beams, build a frame, and it just happened to be the perfect curve to her body down to make it look like she was emerging from it.
Let's see.
He did well to come out of a right angle like that, where I think
total fluke.
Sarah and Fleur suffered a little bit on theirs. They had the right angle as well. So you did well to get the posture right coming out on that angle.
The cash register was actually really heavy as well, so that gave us a big advantage. We had a lot of leverage.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that the chainsaw had as much sort of heft, so we probably got lucky there.
But you say you got lucky, but it's luck's not even half of it. You know what I mean? It still comes down to what you know and the skill you got. So was definitely just the way how big it is too. You got to look. It's the size of your forearm hanging off a couple of studs. So it's an epic build. Don't downplay it.
I did do the math.
We liked it.
It was something like 256 studs were holding that on. Because I did lots and lots of beams side by side.
Yeah.
So sort of never trusted on 4 studs, that's for shiz.
For shiz. And then obviously moving into last night was the awesome the what's the name for him? Like the gadgety dude,
the flying man. What is he? Magnificent Man and his flying machine.
Magnificent Man and his flying machine.
They called him something different though. I don't know. Flying Man or something.
Yeah. That probably has a license on it.
Yeah.
To get rid of the crappy brick, and then obviously finishing up with the fountain, which had the top of it is wicked. That's a good, cool little bit, and I love the little cheat with the water. Oh, what have I done? But unfortunately, how funny was it? They squished his hair to get you over the line as well. Like that was a good. I like that.
I really liked your fountain, and like a lot of people on social media today were saying that it was really unfair that it was pointed out that it lacked story when there were other builds there last night that had no story and that wasn't mentioned.
Yeah,
I had to fall back on something though.
Yeah.
I reckon that's sort of been blown out because what it was, the other builds weren't in contention. Yeah, they had less story, but the point it was the point of difference between Michael and Harry's and ours. And is that their story was clearer than ours. Yeah, Rocket didn't have any story, but it was a freaking ridiculously cool build that they built in 3/4 of the time. So they were out, they were already safe. So was the snake, which
the snake
didn't need a story. It was the wicked snake. So it was literally down to these two, and then ours had less story than the other one and less colour. So And
that's what it comes down to. It comes down to the minute little details that's what they had to, sell the show on. Yeah. So it's just the way it rolls, unfortunately. And You guys left. So I'll ask you, Ryan, first. Out of all the, I think I already know your answer. Out of all the builds you were to take home, would be, I'm guessing, the cash register girl.
Yeah. There are plans to rebuild that.
Very nice. What about you, Gabby?
I don't have room in my house for a cash register girl, so probably Little Flying Man. I could hang him somewhere.
It was cool. If you had to take from episode 1 of the way until now, anyone's build, which one would be? Was there any favorite that still get like? Yeah, okay, that's pretty impressive.
Look,
it's a bit cliche to say the fox, isn't it?
Yeah, or the snake.
Really, the fox was insane.
The fox was insane. Even the snake was pretty cool.
Yeah,
actually, for a reason.
Having that snake in the front room would be pretty cool. Do you know what?
I'd have the geisha woman on a shelf somewhere. Should be cool. All lit up nicely.
You're only saying that because they're at your house.
They're not in this room.
I also, it's funny because I think that it belongs in the same category as our fountain. The fountain would look quite good at a Lego show. People would stop and go, hey, that's different. It's not another grey castle. It's not another train layout. It's not a whole row of the modular buildings. It's a flipping fountain. Scotty and Owen's the Mission to Mars.
Yep.
Their little I always forget the things, but
the mech.
It just didn't suit the show, but that would have so many people going, oh, what at a Lego show.
That was the one they kept getting in trouble for the colour for.
Yeah.
And it looked like a movie set.
I said, look, that if it was Aliens theme and all that sort of stuff, God, you'd have it. But we're throwing this, we're pitching it at 10-year-olds, and 10-year-olds don't dig grayscale. Just seriously, bright colours pop. I know it wouldn't look like that on Mars if we were in a battle. That's stupid. Paint yourself red. You've got a target on your back, but forget that. All of us were
then we forgot that. Then we forgot that advice and built a white fountain.
I was going to say, do you think you might have done a bit better if you had rainbow water or something like that?
Absolutely. Well, one thought was we're going to make a chocolate fountain, but then I said, no, Gabs, it's going to look like poo. It's going to look like a latrine that's overflowing. Like,
I get it. Obviously, leading into the days before you walk into the studio, wondering what the next challenge is going to be and what you're going to do, all that kind of stuff. Is there what would have been a challenge you would have liked to have done that obviously didn't happen, or one in the past that you might have seen that you would have liked to do?
It's fun. I was asked this we were all asked this on Saturday, and I would have loved the randomness of the underwater challenge. Even though it was completely unpredictable, I felt that would be the most leveling. Like, no one could predict that. No one could try that at home. We don't have the hardware. But Gabs, I think Dara said the 3D art. And I think I had an idea for that actually. But
3D art's cool. Did you guys have a finale build?
We had a few ideas that we were kind of tossing around, and maybe we'll do them for a show later on. So I don't want to give too much away, Bilsy. We might revisit some of them and collaborate. I think
as long as you bring it up to Brisbane, and Gold Coast, it's all good.
Sure.
All right, we do have a minute before it starts. People go and follow Gabby and Ryan. They're both on Instagram, and obviously follow us. We'll be back tomorrow night, another recap of whatever happens in tonight's episode, and we are definitely promised something good, a very good twist about to happen. Thank you, Rick, for not dropping it in the chat. We appreciate that. And Gabby and Ryan, thanks again for coming and being part of our quick show, and I'm sure we'll chat again.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Good. Thanks, Bilsy.
Over and out, people. We'll see you all later.